All right, attention deficit hyperactive disorder, ADHD. What's going on, Secoya Nation? Dr. Shirley bringing today's wellness wisdom, and we're going to talk about what typically affects kids, but it can affect adults. And a lot of people have been put on Ritalin and a bunch of other stuff that messes with your brain. But we're not focused on that. We're going to focus on what your brain-body disconnect is and why that might be causing you or your loved one or one of your children the challenge with attention or hyperactivity. So, if you know about these kids, they oftentimes are labeled, they can't pay attention, they can't sit still. This is where the attention and the focus comes in. They're like, are they depressed? Like, what's going on with them? So they're trying to be labeled. They're trying to make sense of the issue or the condition. It doesn't get you any closer to helping them, though. So when someone has trouble with attention, it's like they've seen something or they've experienced something that that was painful, might even been something oppressive that they don't want to pay attention to. So their mind then deviates repeatedly over and over, and they can't really focus on a topic or a task or something like that. And as a result, that concept is oppressive to their mind, so they want to drift their attention away from that. It could be something they didn't want to hear, something annoying. Sometimes it's like a parent arguing. There's examples in the literature with respect to a woman who's pregnant and is always asked about the baby, like, oh, how's your baby? Let me touch your tummy and this and that, you know, like, if you've ever had a spouse or if you've ever been pregnant, people tend to like want to ask questions about your baby and like, oh, let me tell you about my birth experience and all this other stuff. And you're like, don't listen, because there's usually a horror story. But so that's kind of like the attention deficit. There is a concept of like, you know too much, like you overheard something, you heard a secret, and then like you maybe like spilled the beans to a teacher, a parent, or something like that, and it informed, like you ratted them out or whatever like that. And so then you carry this guilt and the sadness, if you will, as a result of having heard too much or having then transferred that information. So what happens is you wish you wouldn't have paid attention to that. So then what does that turn into? Then you don't pay attention to things in your life. So those are just some examples. When it comes to the hyperactivities, like the movement, like the tapping the foot, you know, the wiggling the chair, can't sit still. Like, I mean, modern schools are terrible. Kids should not be sat in chairs all day long anyway, but that's for a different day. But if you feel like you're dying because of the oppressive crap that's being put on you and you don't want to pay attention to it, movement reminds you you're alive. It says, hey, I'm alive. It says, I'm surviving. I'm still with me. I'm still active. I'm still vibrant. And so that's when our bodies just, you know, need this constant stimulation to remind us. It's also like pent up energy is another way to look at it. So these are things to consider. When you think about ADHD in general, think about it as like the coincidence of like two rivers coming together. It's like a separation conflict and then a feeling stuck, right? So if you think about when a new sibling's born for a child, all of a sudden attention goes away from them. They get that separation conflict, like, oh, I don't have the attention I wanted. It could be like they moved to town, so they lost all their friends, they lost their teachers, they lost whatever, right? It could be that a parent is absent or there's a divorce or something like that. That can cause that separation. But it's all the time, and typically it affects children because they feel stuck in these situations. They don't feel like they have a recourse. They don't feel like they have anything to say about it. They can't challenge it and things like that. You know, it's like when kids get into first grade or so, sometimes the mother goes back to work because it's really hard to sustain a family on a one-income family at this day and age. But it's also, if there's parents that are constantly arguing, remember that whole thing about that oppressive thing you don't want to pay attention to? It's like the kid is, I don't want to listen to my parents over here arguing, and as a result, they want to move their attention away. So these are just some thoughts as far as what's available as far as information goes. Somewhere along the way, if you have a child or you know someone or you yourself struggles from ADHD, then these things are going to be relevant for you somewhere. There's going to be some thread, something is going to resonate with you. So I would encourage you, if you found benefit in it, share it with someone, because you can enlighten them to help them understand themselves, or they can understand you, like we talk about all the time. This is the brain-body connection, right? You get labeled because of the physical symptom, but what really happens is you have the issue with the conflict that's ongoing in your life. So resolve the conflict and the symptoms will go away, all right? That's as simple as it gets. So let us know if you appreciated this. Let us know what comments and questions you have. Snide remarks are always welcome. But we appreciate the opportunity to serve you, and I will be redoing our osteoporosis. If you happen to be on live and got osteoporosis yesterday, I'll be redoing that because Facebook flipped out and TikTok didn't record it, and we don't know what happened. So that'll be coming back to you tomorrow, along with I'm going to do two topics tomorrow. So You guys have a great night. Love you. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.